Dr. BP Singh sir, who gave time from his busy schedule. And as you know, every moment we see a lot of things and observe a lot of things from our sense organs, but very few comes in our conscious mind. Why it happens? It all depends upon our attention and consciousness, how we perceive the things. So the same thing happens in any organization, and decision making process depends upon perception of the administrator and worker who are working in that organization. So development and growth of any organization depends upon the perception of different organization and the interpersonal behavior. Interpersonal behavior is also shaping the perception matters. So this is a very complex things, and who understanding the things, we have invited Dr. BP Singh sir. He's principal scientist at IVRI Extension Division and working as a head KBK. And sir has a 25-year experience of teaching and research. And he started his career from NRC YAC, and then transferred to IVRI Extension Division. And he has guided 20 PG and PS2 students and published more than 65 research papers in national and international journals. He has having a lot of national and international experience on extension activities who are project, and his expertise on mobile app development. He have developed many apps and 32 video films. And sir is instrumental to popularize Napier grass in whole countries to meet the fodder requirement of the farmers. Now, sir, as far as audience is concerned, mostly our researcher, scientific staff of the DPR Hyderabad and DPR Bhubaneswar, and some scientific colleagues from different other organizations who have also joined the event, sir. Now, floor yours, sir. Sir, please start, sir.
Should I say something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please say something, sir. Sir, director, sir, please say a few words. Opening remarks, sir.
Unmute hai, sir.
Sir, you are mute.
Unmute karna padega.
Thank you and good morning, everybody. So we have met last time with Dr. BP Singh in BHU. Probably you can remember.
Yes.
And thank you so much for accepting our invitation to speak on a very good topic, perception at workplace. And that is really a very good topic as far as my knowledge goes, that this is the environment where you work, under who are the bosses, then how the environment is created, how you are getting the funds from the organization or from the outside, and how you can go ahead with your ideas or with your innovative ideas in different disciplines. It is not only related to extension, it is though the subject is related to extension, but it will help everybody, including the bosses who are there in different chairs, to make the atmosphere in such a way that the scientists, they can work very freely without any tension and so on. That is my whatever I can understand about this topic. So I will not take much time. He is having very good experience of 25 years of experience working at different ICAR institutes, and thank you so much. Then I think you can start, Dr. BP Singh.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So should I go with my presentation?
Sir, please share your presentation.
Okay. Yes. It is visible?
Visible, sir, but not in slide mode, sir. Please make it presentation mode.
It is not in slide presentation mode?
Yes.
It is there or not?
No, sir. Please make it.
Oh, I did it.
Sir,
I did
please.
it. From my side, I did it in.
Please unshare, sir. Please unshare and open on your desktop full presentation. Then share.
Now it is in slide mode.
No, sir. Shall I share from here, sir?
Yes, you can share. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what is happening.
I think Dr. BP Singh has also received some award, KVK award or something like that in 2018 or 19.
Yes, sir. Yes,
what
sir.
I can
Yes,
remember, Dr. RK Singh was Director IVRI. We met in Delhi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In
You can
2000.
remember.
Yes, sir. It is visible now? No.
Please unshare.
Okay. I am unsharing. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. I have unshared. So you have shared it, right?
I am sharing, sir.
Okay. Go to first slide then. Okay. Yeah. So good morning to respected director DPR, and good morning to all the audience, the scientific staff and other administrative and technical staffs. So the topic to speak today is very good as far as to make the working atmosphere better and to make the clear perception of the employees. Because if clear perception is there among the employees, so many problems can be easily solved. And if the atmosphere is very congenial, so then it promote and encourage the teamwork and collaborations and good happenings in any organization. So before going into detail about that, what is perception, how it works, and what are the factors affect this perception, so I would like to show some of the visuals. Okay, so Vijay, please go next. Yeah, because we work together in a group, in a team, in an organization, but all of us have the different perception, and these different perceptions are governed or influenced by different factors. Okay, so many factors are involved. So you see here, many people, if they are working together in the same situation, so all have the different perception. Next, please. Just one slow. Yeah, you see this visuals, because whoever are seeing these visuals or these visuals will interpret and will have the different perception about each visuals. Next, please. About this one also, okay? Everyone will have a different perception of whatever they are seeing. Next. This one also different. No one of us will have the same perception about this. Next. Here. Next. Just only so all these. Okay. So somebody will may say that there may be 3 pillars. Some may say that there are 2 pillars like that. Okay. So yeah. Next. So here it is a figure ground visual, and one may say that there may be a two-face, and one may say, or other may say that it is a flower vase. It is depend that how clearly we are perceiving this picture, and it is influenced by the background and the figure, and you can say by the colors. Next. Okay. Yeah. If I ask someone say that it is a photograph of a old woman. Next. Okay, some may say that it is a photograph of a young woman. And if these two photographs are put together, so viewers may say easily or can identify easily that which photo is of young woman and which photo is of old woman. Okay, when both the situations are put together, yes. So here means my meaning to present these visuals to you so that you can understand that what perception is and how the perception takes place. Perception cannot take place in a fraction of a second. It is a, you can say, sensory process, or you can say the sensory interpretation of the stimulus. Whatever the objects, whatever the stimulus we are seeing, that is the perception, and how we are interpreting this. So it is a process, perception, totally process. Okay, means many in our environment we see many objects, many events, many things together, but we never pay attention to all. We pay attention only to few selected events, selected objects. Why? Because these are affected by our or influenced by our past experience, our knowledge, or the size of the picture, size of the event, of novelty, etc. About that. One photo is depicted here. Some group may say that it is a half glass. Some may say that it is a half empty and half full. So it is coming out from the perception that how we are seeing the situation, how we are analyzing the situations. If take the positive aspect, so one may say that it is half glass is full, and other may say no, half glass is not full, half glass is empty. Okay, so it is a means inevitable outcome of the perception. Next. Yes. So why the perception is important in the workplace? Perception is very much important in any organization. Why? Because if we want to have the positive work-life balance in the office, if our positive work-life balance is their office, then it will lead for a supporting environment. Each employee will support each other, then definitely we will reach to the target set by the competent authority to achieve. Next, that meaningful work. Previous. Yes. Okay. That for meaningful work, we know that if the employees are involving in completion of the or in engaging in meaningful work, then that work will create the work culture very interesting and challenging, and develop the skills and knowledge of the employees whoever are working in completion or doing that type of the work. Okay, but if they are involving in meaningful work, sometimes it is happening in organization that sometimes the superior engage some staffs. Means one task is there and one task is given to like 4 groups without giving the information that this information this task has been given to the 4. But finally it will be selected by from the 1 group. And if all the groups came to know that the same task is given to the 4 group, then all will lose their interest to work in that way, in meaningful work. It will discourage them. Then it is good for perception that recruiting and retaining good employees. Definitely, if we are having good employees in our office, in our organization, so it will be helpful in developing the successful work culture. Next. Then perception is important for the positive workplace culture. Wherever the positive is there, positive feeling is there, positive attitude is there, desirable behavior among the employees is there. So definitely the employees will be vibrant in working, they will have the positive feelings, and whatever the work they will do, they will be that work will be in collaborative nature, and they will be helping to assess each other. These are very much important determinant for the successful organization. Then rewarding the employees, yes, it is very good. If all the employees are very good, and after completion of the work, they are getting the rewards from their senior, from their superiors. So definitely they will work with their enthusiasm, and they will be highly satisfied with their work, that they have contributed something for the growth of the organization, and they will motivate to work even in extremely hardship. Okay, if they are getting the reward, and if in comparison to their work and their contribution, they are not getting the rewards, then what will happen? The employees will lose their interest, and they will have the negative feelings, negative attitude, and they will lose the means something in the production or in the organizational growth. Then one more important aspect of the like good perception at workplace is the open and clear communication. If we have the open communication, clear communication with our peer groups, with our subordinate, and with our boss also, so definitely it will have the positive environment in our office, and everyone will have the clear perception that what the organizations want from the employees, and what the employees need from their organization. Because whatever the work are done by the employees, they need the rewards, they need something for their welfare. So if open and clear communication is there in any organization, so it will solve the potential issues of the organization, and they will increase the collaborations, and then the spirit of the teamwork will be introduced in the system. Next, please. Yeah. So these are the means some important points that why the perception, what important aspect and things are required for the perception in the workplace. So although the factor, the perception are influenced by various factors at workplace. We are not the only one that a person is working. The person, the employees, whoever are working, they are further governed by different factors. What are factors are there? There may be like work situations. Okay, work situation means like comfortable situations and like hardship situations. But in the both the situations will affect like time of the office, work setting in the office, and then whatever the social networking, social settings in the office, it will also affect their perception. Okay, if social situation, if this situation is good, so definitely it will be in favor of the organization. Then the target. Okay, target means like for example, the object we see. Sometimes if the object is bigger in the size, if the intensity, like for example, like light, like dense, and then sparse, dark and light, then background, just only one example I gave here, like figure ground perception. Then novelty in the items, novelty in the policies, novelty in the technologies, etc. Then proximity among the employees, among the head of the departments, and the proximity, the various units are working there. And then motions. Then again, on the aspect of the perceivers, their attitude also influence the perception. Negative attitude, positive attitudes. Then motives, whether the employees have the motives for their personal growth, or the employees have the motives for the organizational growth. We as an employee grow with the growth of the employee, with the growth of the organization. If I am growing singly and my organization is not growing, so then I have no meaning to work in the organization. Okay, I should grow, or employees should grow with the organization, with the growth of the organization. Okay, so that is why all of us, our employees in the organization or in organization, should have the positive attitude, positive atmosphere. Then only they will seek the cooperation from each other. Then motives, again, motives has come here. Motives also. One example I'm giving here, that ICAR has introduced a transfer policy for the scientists. So one example I'm giving here, one scientist was transferred to IVRI, and after getting transferred to IVRI, then that scientist met the director, and then he said within a month of his transfer from another institute to IVRI, requested director, sir, that requested further for their transfer from IVRI Izatnagar to another center. Then director said, that what motives you have, you had when you applied for the transfer. He simply said, sir, my motive was that if I come to Izatnagar, so then from Izatnagar campus, easily I will manage my transfer to another station. You see the motives. And then director stated this thing in a meeting of the scientists in IVRI. You see the motives. Which type of the motives we are having as employees. Then interest. Okay. Again, interest also played a very important role as far as perceivers, as far as employees are concerned in an organization. Then experience, past experience. In perception, our past experience played a bigger role. If you are having the experiences, definitely we can solve a very typical problems in the work setting. Typically manage any situations in the organization if you are having experiences. If you are not having any experiences, then we will not deal with. Like it is a case of same. Like if the elephant came to the village, and if the children has not seen that village, so we will see the group of the children chasing the elephant. If the children have already seen the elephant, no one will come to the street to see the elephant like that. Then expectations. Expectations also a factor which affect our perception. Means higher expectation, higher performance. Okay, because if there is a higher expectation from the organization from the employees, so definitely the employees have to work hard to achieve the expectation of the organizations. Okay, next please. Yeah. So high in perception, we commit a lot of the means errors or mistakes. It happens in like in designing the research projects, or it happens in giving some concrete suggestions of a problem, and if some dispute is there, so we commit some mistakes, we do some errors in identifying the exact and actual reasons behind that problem. So what are those errors we commit in perception? What are those? These are stereotyping, projections, primacy effect. These are certain. Again, next please, Vijay. Yeah. So what is stereotyping? What is happening in this? Because we are having stereotyping opinion, stereotyping behavior. Means we do not use our own mind, we do not use our own perception, but we are governed by whatever has been stated by others. So here, what is this? That general characteristics of stereotyping is that on the basis of category or class to which person belongs, we generally behave to the employees. Generally, we say many times, oh, these class of the employees are only like this. Why we should have this type of stereotyping? No, we should have the means increasing climate, increasing culture in the working atmosphere. Then only everyone will have the motivation to work further. Okay. So generally, we should not have the stereotype mind, stereotyping like feelings about our employees. Every time we should increase our employees. Okay. Some example I have mentioned here, like we say generally that police departments are always biased, but it is not like that. Okay, these are not always. Some of them are very good. They are doing good service. Some may say, pass on the statement that beggars are untalented. No, who said beggars are talented? One example we have like Rose Mandal on social media. When she performed with the popular singer of India, she came in like Saregamapa, etc. Again, women are not good driving the vehicle, right? Because we pass on such a statement stereotyping way. Because we heard it from others, we didn't use our own mind. But it is not like that. If one organization is there in India, Azad Foundation is giving the training to the women in driving so that they can create their own livelihood by driving the taxi, etc. And one photo I have used. One of our senior colleagues, scientists, heading the director in ICAR Institute, and she is very fond of driving the bike. Many of times you can see her. She is fond of riding the bike for long distance. Okay. Then another, I took here example of like a film like Sandhya. Whoever has seen, so you can see how the stereotype typically the male members of that family objected the entry of the girl member of their family to go for training for shooting. But it is because of the encouragement of that on the topic on which this film was made. It is very good for the lesson for those who have stereotyping thinking. Next, please. Then halo effect. It is also one of the most important. Whenever we work, because any office has the boss and subordinates and other employees. Okay. So many times it happens whenever sometimes the boss, sometimes some like officers focus attention not only on all the employees but about one employee and on the basis of their single characteristics, like for example, like appearance. For example, if interview is conducted, an interviewer has selected just only one candidate on the basis of their appearance. Okay, that is a halo effect. But after that, when the work was given the system to that selected employee, and then the system came to know that the employees has just only one quality, that is good appearance, and the work related to the like office, the employee was not good. Okay. Another example it is cited there that the that a well-built physics person, the person of well-built physics in a production force may be selected. But if that person or selected person officer have the low confidence, then what is the purpose of selecting of that well-built person for the production force? So it is a halo effect. Whenever we recruit, we consider just only one quality of the person and ignore other qualities. So we never judge other qualities. Next, please. Yeah. Then projection. It is another in perception. What is happening? Why, on what basis we make the group, we make the team in the group or in an organization? One term is that projection. What is that? Means it is our attributes that we generally think that what are the attributes we have, others should have, others should also have. But how? Generally, in a fraction of a second, we identify another person and we make the friendship. In a fraction of a second, or in a fraction of minute, or in a fraction of minutes, or in a task only. But while working together for a longer time, we came to know about their actual traits. Then we perceived later that, oh, they were wrong to make the friendship with them. Okay, next. Then expectancy effect. Already mentioned, higher expectation for higher performance. Okay. Example I would like to give regarding this, that many times a particular employee get the you can say positive stroking from their boss, or you can say the appreciation or motivation from a boss that okay, you are very good, and organizations need very good output from you. So then the person or the employee think that there is a confidence of the organization in him or her. So the employee start to work as per the expectation of the organization. So while working in that tempo, they contribute, they perform in a good way, and they contribute very much in the system, and the organization reach also to achieve their given target. Next, please. These are one more thing is there, Pygmalion effect in perception. It is happening like the same, higher expectation for higher performance. If you do, in Hindi there is a proverb that giving the shabasi. If you are continuously giving the shabasi to one employee, oh well done, you are good, you can do it. So definitely that person will do good for the growth. It is a very good example. Psychologist has explained that Rosenthal effect by giving the rose to their near dear one on the basis of their appearance, like that. And once the person was performing good, so on every day or on every week or like that, they were getting the appreciation for their good performance. Likewise, if the employees in the organization are getting the rewards continuously for their high performance, so then the employees will be continue to do the hard work and will contribute a lot for the growth of their office. Next, please. Yeah. It is also happens in a team whenever it is an example of a team whenever one player was very tall and well built, another player was very thin, okay, but was very active. So the captain of that team, they focused only on that sports person or the member who was means active and very thin, not very tall. So, but other team member objected their referee that why you are giving the much focus on that particular employee. Because the team member had the negative feeling about that employee. But by continuous training of that the referee or you can say the captain of the team, the chosen sports person performed very well, and then they were able to give the like shield or cup to the team. Next, please. It is same. Next. Yes. So in terms of the perception, generally some more terms are also used that how we should have the perception at workplace. First is the primacy effect, next is the recency effect. So we generally say that first impression is the last impression. Okay, we know. Two blocks here. I have used two blocks here. Okay, one person is started to give the lecture about the qualities of some employee, that they were intelligent, industrious, impulsive, critical, stubborn, envious. So and another person started to speak from the like critical, stubborn, envious, intelligent, industrious, impulsive. So what is happening in that? If the person start to talk about this positive aspect, like intelligent, industrious, and impulsive, the person will perceive, oh, that person is very positive, because positive qualities he has mentioned in his talk or in his or her talk. But if the person started to name like negative aspect like critical, stubborn, envious, then they think, oh, that person is very negative. So whenever we are talking, whenever we give the lecture, whenever we are suggesting to the employees or any others, so we should have in our mind that our message should go with positive remarks for the betterment of the employees. Okay, we know that first impression is the last impression. Okay, so and then what is then a recency effect? Recency effect is that because whatever we have said first and then whatever we have last. Okay, so if we stated good things in first and some negative effect or negative things in last, so then if in conclusion some negative remarks are came, so then we will think, okay, starting was from good but ended with a negative remarks. So we should not think like that. Okay, we should not do in an office. Always we should start our talk with a these statement like intelligent, industrious, impulsive with the positive statement like that. Okay, so then it is important to be noted in our talk that what is the impression in last. When we are ending our talk, when we are ending our lectures, so what the message has been given, what message we are carrying to home. Okay, then what we have learned in the last. So it happens in the organization that if the employee is giving the lot of the laurels to the organization for the last 10 years, and the employee is very disciplined, intelligent, hardworking, but all of a sudden one time what happened, one mistake unintentionally was happened, and then there was a bombardment of the negative remarks of the boss for that. So what is happening? Because whatever happening is in a present situation, it is more important than that the whatever the laurels were given to the office in 5 years back. Next, please. One more is there, attribution theory as far as perception is concerned. Because our perception are governed by, our behavior is governed by the perception about the climate of the organizations. So we see here in attribution, always we are involving in finding the cause and the event. If something disturbances are happening, so all of a sudden we start to be involved in finding the causes of that event, and then the employees started to express their behavior in a various ways. So generally, while describing the attribution in terms of the perception, there are the three terms. First is the distinctiveness, then consensus, then consistency. Then what is the distinctiveness? It is this, that in terms of the like arrival time in the office. For example, like shows different behavior in different situations. Okay, it is distinctiveness. Different situation means so different behavior in different situations. Means there is a, you know, as employees, we came from different culture, different background, different education we have. Okay, so we behaved according to that. So if one employee is coming daily late after 10 or 10:30, 11 o'clock, okay, so daily they may give their different reasons of their late arrival to the office. Okay, today that they had to go to the doctor in morning. Then there was a puncture in the bike, there was a puncture in the car, there was a road accident, there was a jam on the road. Okay, so different day, different behaviors according to different situations. So it is a distinctiveness. It happens. Then consensus. If a particular day, if all the employees are coming late, all employees like 10:30 hour came, and reasons cause, there was a jam on the road, so it is a consensus. Okay, so means we should have that type of a perception that everyone should think, means everyone should have the right and correct perception while working in the office atmosphere. Third is the consistency, means behavior in the same way across time. In every office you will find certain officers that whether there is a rain, whether there is a winter, whether there is a rally, whether there is a road jam, but always you will find them sharp at 10 a.m. in office. So that is a consistency. And we should have the consistency characteristics as employees in ourselves. We should behave in a same way. Okay, we should not be governed, we should not be influenced by others' motives. Okay, next please. So actually the whatever the attribution theory is there in perception, these are governed by internal factors and external factors. Okay, internal factor is in our control and external factor, these are not in our control. Example I mentioned here, like because in India, not means in ICAR also, or in every organization, there is a lack of expertise to work on artificial intelligence. Okay, because we have to search to work on artificial intelligence from the IT people, because they work in that. And as a biological science, we work less in that. Further, that no faith in each other among the employees. It is not external factor. It is internal factor. And there is some reasons why there is no faith among the employees, among each other. If faith is developed, then organization will develop. Okay, organization will have something to show to the nation that because of the working cohesively in a teamwork, the group of the employees has given this type of the technology to the nation. Next, please. So again, the perception is also affected by the change and movement. If suddenly a new education policy has come out, so there was a perception. Immediately, those who are involved in academic, so they perceived it very fast. They started to make their notes to teach to the students. Okay, then promotion policy. If new scorecard made by ASRB, then scientists started to work by having that scorecard on their tables like that. Next, please. Then repetition. Repetitions also affect our perception. Means if like our super boss is emphasizing again and again about a certain things like develop the technology, develop the technology, develop the technology. So definitely it will be in everybody's mind that our boss or our organization need the technology for the welfare of the farmer. So we have to work in a way so that we are able to give the technology to the nation, and then our farmers will be in a better condition. What is happening in advertisement agencies? Some example I have given here, like in case of the why the people have developed the perception that every 20 years back, that every families were aware that their children need to be given the pulse polio vaccination. It has happened because of the lot of repetition of advertisement. And likewise in case of the AIDS also. Another, why the Patanjali, according to my opinion, as far as perception is concerned, why the Patanjali has become so popular in nation? Because of their yoga class, because of their separate channels, okay, on TV, and then their advertisement on the television. One is very important. Means a very like ek boon ki baat hai, like that. Then one more older advertisement. I am born with a girl, I am born with a boy. So why it was means it was perceived very fast by the parents of the children and by the children also that they would like to eat the bone meat. So likewise it happens whenever we are repeating the certain thing. Nowadays there is a you can say instructions, guidelines from ICAR for us to work on natural farming. So now every Krishi Vigyan Kendra, every agriculture research institute are focusing on to have the demonstration on natural farming, to give the training to the farms on natural farming. So it is a perception that we are perceiving the same as our organization is perceiving. If there is a difference in perception, our perceptions are different. Organization's perception difference, then there will be a wide gap, big gap, and then nothing will be achieved. One example I mentioned here, 30 years back, one advertisement used to come on the radio. And because of that continuous repetition of that, it was given by the government of India about the particular fertilizer for the farm. It was so popular. Like it was like that, like सुन लो खेतों वालों दो चीजें रखो यार, पहला किसान यूरिया, दूसरा किसान खाद. So these were किसान यूरिया and किसान खाद. These were too much popular. Every farmers were perceived that these kisan urea, kisan khad are very much important for increasing the productivity of their agriculture farm. Next, please. Like new and familiar novel stimuli, like example, just mention like natural farming. The things which are novel, new, they get more attention than the older things. Okay. Next, please. Then motives. Employees' motives must be matched with the mandate of the organization. We have to work. We have to place the mandate of our institute on our table, and then we have to design our research project according to that. Our research project should be according to the vision set by our organization. Then only we will be achieved our organization's target. So the identification of the motives of the employees can be helpful in organizational growth. Next, please. And then interest is also our interest influence our perception. Okay, like I mentioned here, that if the three scientists of different subjects go to the field, so all the three scientists will have a different perception to analyze the situation of the field. Okay, like medicine people and reproductive people, reproduction scientists and the social scientists. Okay, health people, health scientists will see the like will perceive the problem of health problem of the like dairy animals, poultry, etc. Okay, but what the social scientists will perceive? Social scientists will perceive, oh, what is the socio-economic condition of the farmers, and then they will try to relate socio-economic condition of farm with the farm production, and then accordingly the technology will be introduced in the farming system, because this social scientist has perceived the problems of the farmers, that the reasons of the poor economic conditions of the farmer is their production. Okay, next please. Values and beliefs, definitely. What are the ideas, what are the policies which are consistent with our values and beliefs? We perceive more that, and we pay attention towards that, and which are not consistent, which are inconsistent with our value and beliefs, we hardly pay attention to that. So in that way, the value and beliefs are also affect our perception. Next. Then past experience, I also mentioned there are some proverbs I have mentioned here. These are good to speak here. Means past experience said that in Hindi, everyone of you must be knowing Hindi. I mentioned here. Means those who had the problem in past, so in present they will think that they will not do the same mistake again. Okay. So past experience is very much to make clear our perception. Next. Other factors are also there which affect our perception. What are those factors? Like continuity, closures, proximity, similarity. What is continuity? For example, like certain events are happening on the same day in different places. So what in what way we will see? We will make the means like correlation among them. Oh, it has happened just only whatever the events are happening, the reasons is the same. We try to reach at this conclusion, but it may be or it may not be. Then closure, proximity, similarity. Next, please. So what is the proximity? Proximity means nearness to each other. Means these people, though people who are very nearer to each other, so we try to say, we try to correlate them. Okay. Example I mentioned here that if suddenly if two employees of the same departments are resigned, or if two employees are submitted two research projects on the same day, so then other departments what will think? Oh, they are from same department. They know the about the circular they received from the council. Then only they have developed this project and they have submitted. It may be, but they were not knowing. Next. Then similarity, many times persons, objects, events that are similar to each other also tend to be grouped together, but they are different. But because of their similarity, we try to put them in a same like categories, or we try to group together. Next. Yeah, it is happening in. It is much very much important as far as perception is concerned. Means the event, the many things are not related to each other. Okay, these are not the circle, these are not the triangle, but because our past experience says that, oh, it is looking like that a triangle, so unnecessary they make it triangle, but these are different. All the pictures are different from each other. All the objects are different from each other, but our past experience pressurized us, lead us that okay, means draw the line, connect each other and make them triangle and make them circle. But things are not happening. It happens in certain wherever certain incidences took place, and unnecessarily we means connect to each other. So we should okay, these are good for investigating the things, but every time we should not make. We should not spend our much energy making the unnecessary correlation. Next, please. Okay. Next. Then figure ground perception. Why we have the different perception about this? It is happening just only figure and ground. One figure is on the black background and another figure is on white background. That is why the figures are prominent to see. Okay. Somewhere only two faces are drawn. And in another picture only flower vase were drawn from the black background. So it whenever we inquired something, so sometimes we see superficially. We never go up to the root cause, and we give the superficial decision also. So perception is also very much helpful in taking the decisions to run the organization. Next, please. It is the same. Yeah. Yeah. So the what factor does perception have on employees and the workplace? You know, if a person is going to attend one interview as a candidate, so what is happening? He certain only in first asking the 2 or 3 questions, the interviewer identify their strength in the candidate, and by seeing that strength, then they try to explore more about that. So by asking only first 1 or 2 questions, the interviewer decides that they are the fit, and for more confirmation, they ask some more questions related to that to make their perception right. Next. So then many times it happens that whatever the rules, regulation, policies are there, many times we give the verbal order, many times we give in the black and white. So better to manage the perception of the employees, we should give in black and white. Or a committee, sometimes a committee is constituted that this group will work in that direction on this line and with this time frame. Okay, which will will ensure or the management and employees to act fairly and consistently for reducing the risk. So in this way, the perception can be managed at the workplace. Next. Next. Here. So what are the techniques we should use for effectively managing the perception attributes? Whenever we have the wrong perception, whenever we have the right perception. If we are intelligent, if we are aware about the rules and regulations, if we have past experience, so definitely we will be fair in the perception. We will have the clear-cut perception. Okay. So be self-aware. Every employee need to be self-aware that what is happening in surrounding. Okay, what new policies and rules by ICAR, new organizations in new education policy, promotion policy, etc. We should be self-aware. If we are aware, then we will have the clear-cut perception. Then seek a wide ranging of different information. Yes, we should have to get good networking. Otherwise, we will have the negative attitude. Good networking help us in creativity or in innovativeness. Because whenever we receive many ideas, so it enriches and make our work fruitful. Then try to see a situation as others would. Because whenever we see, because I am seeing one, for example, one object. So I am seeing that object according to my own way. So I should also discuss with others that what you are perceiving about that thing. If so many opinions are placed one place or together, then something good will come out. Okay. So be aware of different kinds of rules and regulations. Be aware of perceptual distortion like stereotyping, halo effect, proximity, okay, distortion, etc. We should be very careful. We should not have our perceptual disorder. We should be clear or good perception. And then be aware of self and impression management. Whenever we are talking, whenever we are suggesting to our subordinates, we are seeking advice from our seniors. So we should have a good impression. This good impression in terms of like stating out the good things, good qualities, so that they think our organizations, our superior think that okay, they always think for the betterment of the office, betterment of the science, betterment of the technology, etc. Okay, so behaving in a way so that others perceive us how we want to be perceived. So be aware of attention for implications like three terms for you: distinctiveness and consensus, like that. Next, please. Next. Next. Yeah. So what is the role of perception decision making? It is very good. It played a very important role. If we are clear in perception, so definitely we will not commit any mistake in decision making. Because in perceiving the things, we should not perceive only whatever our mind is accepting or perceiving. Then we should also invite the suggestions from others also. So the perception of a situation is central to decision making process. To make effective decision, the superior must not only perceive but also understand the people. Nowadays, there is a focus again on that the employees should not only have the high intelligence quotient, they should be having high emotional quotient. Because instead of working with the technology, we have to think for the welfare of the employees also, so that the employees have the positive outlook, positive feeling, positive attitude, and good behavior in the workplace. So the individuals or employees decision makers perceptual process will have a large bearing on the final outcome. That is why we should have a clear perception. If we are good in perception, then our organization will grow. Next. So perception in decision making is based on person's internal understanding of reality. It happens again because perception is that whatever our sensory perception is there, whatever we are receiving through the stimulus, our perceptions are based on that. Because in perception, many times it happens that our reality, we cannot reach up to the reality, but need to have that collaboration, need to have the teamwork, need to have the suggestions from a peer group to reach the conclusions. Next, please. So if everyone perceived everything the same way, so things would be a lot simpler. But we are from different background, we have different education, some are from medicine, some are from reproduction, some are from economics or sociologists. So according to their like professions, they have different perception. But whenever we think that one project need to be developed for the like betterment of the farmer, so everyone will give their like inputs, and then project will becomes very good, and then it has the implications on the betterment of the farming or betterment of the economic condition of the farmers. Next. So it is the like about the perception. So perception played a very important role in our personality development and in decision making process and making our environment congenial. So we should have the clear perception, correct perception, not wrong perception. If employees have wrong perception, so it will not only affect their outcome or their achievement, it will also affect the contribution in organization. So it is all about the perception, that how it is so important that which type of the perception we should have in workplace for the better working setting in organization. So thank you. It is about the lecture that which type of the perception we should have in office. So Vijay, you can share. Yeah. Sir.
Now, please comment if anyone like to say anything.
Dr. B.P. Singh, you have presented very nice presentation on perception at workplace.
Yes, sir.
And you know, whatever you have shown in these slides, that will encourage the people to create such an atmosphere that we can work properly, and that is from the both sides.
Yes, sir.
As you have told very correctly, that is from the both sides, maybe from the decision maker as well as from the scientist, and the environment should be created in such a way. And I always say to my scientist colleagues that we should look at the mirror.
Yes.
And you know, we may have some problem. And every individual is having their good qualities, bad qualities, and all that. And there is always scope of improvement for maybe personality development, for creating such environment that both the sides will be benefited, and the environment will be created in such a way that the final scientific output will be better of the institute. So we should correct ourselves, whatever attitude we are having, maybe in terms of attitude, maybe in terms of knowledge, maybe in terms of other things we should do, and you know, perception at the workplace, that should be better. And thank you so much for a very nice presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for giving this nice opportunity to speak on this perception.
Anyone like to ask or say something? Your presentation was very clear, sir. I think there is no scope of any questions, and all have enjoyed a lot.
Oh.
And I am very thankful for accepting our invitation. And Director, sir, I would like to say you, sir, is my guide.
Oh, that I didn't know. But he is just like my younger brother, Dr. B.P. Singh.
Sir, definitely, sir. I respect you, sir.